Hi guys, this is my second video in the series on correlation and regression using a TI-84 calculator. So if you haven't seen my first video, please click the card up here or the link in the description and go watch that first. So here's a new scenario, or the same scenario but with different variables. Another school wanted to see if the number of students in the class and the grades were correlated. So here's the sample of data they got. So let's see if they're linear related. So we press Stat, Edit, and we enter the list. You can see there the list is this list here. And we go second stat plot, make sure our stat plot is on. We've got a scatter plot, we've got list 1 and list 2. We've got a nice color and a nice mark. And we can say graph. And we see nothing, so we've got a zoom stat, number 9, zoom stat. And there is our graph. Are they linearly related? Well, you could draw a line through there, but I'd say it's fairly weak. So I'm going to suggest it's a moderate negative correlation. Okay, how strong is the relationship? Again, we go stat, calculate this time, linear regression number 4. List 1, list 2, and let's store this equation. You don't have to for the rest of the questions here, but let's do it anyway. So again, that's F4, so we go second F4, let's call it Y1, and calculate. And there we've got our R squared values. Okay, so negative 0.989, that's a fairly high moderate negative correlation. Okay, but let's graph it again and see what that looks like. Okay, there's the line. Would we say that's the best relationship to model the data? Is a linear model the best model for this? Well, by looking at this, I'll probably say not, won't I? There's a few ways we could test that. One is just guessing. So this time I'm going to stat calc, and I'm going to do quad reg. Okay, again, list 1, list 2. Let's store that in Y2, and we'll calculate. So the R squared value here is 0.999. That looks pretty good. Let's graph it. Okay, that red curve looks much better than the blue line. Excellent. So that's quad reg. Let's try something else. So stat, calculate, cubic reg, number 6. Okay, again, and we'll store that equation. So cubic reg again is 0.999 R squared, so very high R squared value. Let's graph that, and you can see it's just as good as the quad reg. How about exponential? Stat, calc, we can do quartic, we can do logarithmic, we can do exponential. Let's do exponential, and again store that equation. I think we're up to Y4. Okay, enter. There we go. So that does not seem as strong. So it's equivalent to what the linear relationship was. Let's see that graph. I'm not sure why it's drawing all 4 every time. So yeah, you can see the pink curve there hugging the line from before. Let's one more. This one is power regression. Okay, so I suspect it will be similar to these first two. Let's go, let's call that Y5, number 5, enter. Okay, and we get a similar R value to before, a much lower R value to before actually. And what does it look like? Well, those two are the best. Yeah, quite nothing like what the points are, so that's quite disappointing. So Is it the best relationship? No, a cubic or a quadratic would be much better. Okay, but can we quantify that even more? Well, the other thing you can do is we can talk about residuals. So, with your stat edit, you have your list here, and you, in the next column, go up to the top and see where it says list. You click on list, and you have residuals. So residual is the difference between the line and where the points actually are, and then that calculates it. So for our linear graph, that will calculate how far the y value is, this y value is, from the y value of our line for the same x value. So now we can go to our stat plot and change that from list 1 to list 2, from list 2 to list 3. So we're doing the x values versus the residuals, and now when we graph that, we'll zoom stat, and this is our residuals. Now, because our residuals follow quite a distinct pattern, we can say that the linear is not the best model. So the answer is no. Okay, what is? You can have a discussion about that, quadratic, quartic, cubic, but because there is a distinct pattern in these residuals, linear is not the way to go. Alright, hope that was helpful, hope that taught you a little bit and you feel more confident using your calculator now. Good luck.